So Simon, when they're saying Leeds United now hope to go to the next level, what is the next level? What does this help them do to achieve that?
Look, I mean, I think Red Rosini's the smart as paint. I think he is, for the first time in many years, Leeds have an owner that has coherent thinking about the opportunities that exist for this football club rather than talking about them. He's put it together. He took over from the other mad Italian and took them forward and got them where they wanted to go. And I think the key component of that was Marcelo Bielsa. He got a coach that was capable of harnessing the vitality and energy that Leeds United have as a football club. The challenge for Leeds is that in the 17 years that they've been out of the Premier League, lots of things have changed. Lots of people have been able to cement themselves on the worldwide audience and the worldwide branding opportunities that football affords them. The Man Uniteds of the world, the Liverpools of the world have retained the huge influence they've got and joined it up digitally. The Man Cities have come to the party. The Chelseas have moved the bar and created this iconography around the world. And Leeds have got to try and break into that. And of course, Arsenal and Tottenham as well. And the superimposing of high-profile coaches has helped build that link that's cementing the nation and nurture of these football clubs. Leeds United have the livery and the heritage, irrespective of what you remember of Leeds, whether it's Don Revie and Dirty Leeds and Damned United and Brian Clough and whatever else. They are an immense football club that languished outside the Premier League far too long, and it's difficult to even comprehend that they were gone for the best part of 2 decades. Here they are now with a very serious media guy. Red Rosini gets the joined-up thinking behind the televisual opportunity. I've often talked about the Netflix of football, but I've also talked about the notion that fans aren't getting a real deal in terms of what they could get. But I also believe that what's been proven in this timeline over COVID is the impact that sport has had on the televisual opportunity, because the only way you can watch football has been through television. And there's a case to be argued that maybe that there is even more money available and more opportunities available if licenses are to be given by the government and opportunities to be put into play. So you wouldn't underestimate Red Rosini bringing American ownership into part help him with that thinking. Challenge for me of American ownership, it's an ultimate exit strategy for Red Rosini, because if you've got someone that's got 37% in there, that's got a powerhouse like the 49ers franchise behind it, you naturally think these are the guys that might end up owning the football club. And then you look at the undue influence that I think the Americans have got over the Premier League, and you look at the ownership structure at Manchester United, you look at the ownership structure at Liverpool, you look at the influence at Chelsea, you look at the dynamics of Arsenal's thinking and who owns them, and then you look at the idea that they want to close the trapdoor, remove relegation from the Premier League and all this sort of stuff.
They're all over it, the Americans now. But
the big question that you asked was, how does this kick Leeds on? Well, the question is, how much more money does it make available to Leeds United? Because that's the thing that kicks you on. If you want to join the top 6, which is where I believe their ambition is, and where the opportunity could exist if they make the right decisions, and those decisions will be based upon coach, because there will be a time when Bielsa will not be the Leeds United manager. It then becomes who takes over that legacy and takes it to the next level. They'll also have to compete with 4, 5, 6 clubs now that think that their God-given right is to be in the top 6, and the spending power that Leeds will bring to bear will determine whether they're going to come and gatecrash that party. But it can't be a disadvantage to Leeds United to have these sort of guys in there, but I'm not clear of what finance that frees up. The end of the discussion is how much more money are Leeds going to be given. It's not about how much more Marcelo and Bielsa is going to be indulged to be able to play the brand of football he does play, which is very exciting and exhilarating football. Also has its drawback that the wheels can come off every now and again. But the notion that Leeds have the potential to be at that top table, almost certainly they do. And they have the heritage and the livery, because part and parcel of Liverpool's recurring ability to come back to the top table is the fact that they never lost vogue around the world. Liverpool didn't win the Premier League for 30 years, but look at their footprint, look at the moment they did, look at the Nike deals they've done, look at the deals they do.
Exactly.
This is where they're going with this.
You get the impression Red Rosani wants Leeds United to become or get closer to what Liverpool have achieved in North America and in the Far East, what Manchester United have achieved there as well. Because
it's a hell of an answer, though.
No, but Simon, when you look at his own personal portfolio, he's built partnerships with major rights owners.
Oh, totally.
Including the Premier League, Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, NFL. NBA.
But that's where he's made his money.
And this is what he's doing now with the 49ers.
That's where he's made his money.
So if they've increased their stake
to 37%.
To 37%. logically, the next step for them is to increase it again, isn't it?
Well, that's what I said a moment ago, which was perhaps the ultimate exit strategy for Radrizzini is the guys that are sitting laying in wait.
Guys.
Absolutely.
It's all yours.
And, but it doesn't necessarily always follow. The Philadelphia Eagles are no mugs, but those guys have come in, put a lot of money into Palace and haven't been able to get... And I know people are going to suck in air and go, well, Crystal Palace are not Leeds United. But Crystal Palace are a London football club that if you pump money into and continue to pump money into, then you would expect a level of success. There's something about Leeds that I always found quite intimidating. Whenever we played them, on a few times that we played them during my ownership, it was one of the stadiums that I went to and went, wow, you can feel the intensity and the vibrancy of their fan base.
Yeah.
You can feel the opportunity. And this guy, Radrizzini, has probably picked them up at the right time. There were some really strange decisions that were made with managers that were brought in by Cellini that were way beneath the level of what you'd expect Leeds United to have. But here they are now. And at this moment in time, this guy doesn't let the grass grow under his feet. He's a major player in the rights world. He gets the joined-up thinking behind how it all pulls together. But just because saying it doesn't make it so. And just because they want it to be this way, doesn't mean it's necessary. And they're going to have deep pockets if they want to go toe-to-toe with the Man Cities of the world that are trying to do the exact same thing as they aspire to do, with the Liverpools and Man United of the world that are not going to invite them to that top table.
Yeah.
With the Chelseas of the world, because Abramovich is showing no abating of his appetite to continue keeping going off that 17, 18 years.
He showed that yesterday.
He showed it last summer when he spent 250 million quid.
Yeah.
So all of those...
you've got the people at the 49ers behind you, though, Simon, there's an intent there. Do you see Radrizzani and Leeds United with the 49ers at their back being top 6, top 4 and staying there sometime in the next decade?
I think the framework of the club and the size and scale of the club have that opportunity. I think it's an incredibly tall order for them to be able to achieve it, and they're going to have big pockets, because you're not going to achieve it without having the best players. You can have the best coach in the world, but he needs the tools. And he can make players better. He can take them to a certain level. But you'll hear from Bielsa sooner rather than later. If the ambitions of the club are to be at that table, he's going to need £100 million a season plus on player transfers. And that will all go towards the territory of how that's going to be funded. And you'll see then if the 49ers are this intellectual capital that's going to be advantageous to Leeds, or just another shareholder that's an American shareholder. Because do you think Stan Kroenke, with all his wealth, and the Colorado Rapids and the LA Clippers that are big franchises, what do you think he's done to Arsenal?
You said earlier you don't really give a damn about Newcastle United, but you do about Leeds United.
Oh no, I don't. Listen, I like Newcastle. I do. I think Newcastle are a wonderful football club. I get tired of some of the binary BS that comes from their fans, because it's one-dimensional, and they can only, if you agree with them, then you're all right. If you don't, then you're a village idiot. Yeah. But I just think that there are certain football clubs that feel like, and it may be because I grew up in that era. It may be because I look back and remember, players that played for Leeds, whether it's Trevor Cherry or whether it's their goalkeeper Paul Cooper, whatever his name was, or whether it's Paul Reaney and different players that I remember, Eddie Gray, Gary Sprague.
What team
you look at those players, and you look at Alan Clark's of the world,
Cooper,
and
Bremner,
and then you look at Billy Bremner, and of course all these different players,
Hunter,
and you look at that particular Leeds side, and you look at the Brian Clough episode, and you look at the Don Revie domination, and you look at all that went with it, and you look back and think, well, that's why I think of Leeds, and it might be a generational thing.